All right, we dropped the garage door to make it a little bit more visible in here, so we're not so backlit. We've cracked the spark plugs loose already, so they're the threads are all fine. Everything comes out easy. We're gonna go and remove each one, bore scope it. If everything looks all right, we'll fill it full of oil and go from there. Actually, I'm gonna grab a tray and put these in.
Scope. 600 feet of cable.
These wires are pretty dried out, pretty torched, so luckily we can still get parts for these. They seem to have a pretty good following. I think the worst thing on this car so far is that all the rubber is dry, pretty crispy.
Alright, and then the camera there.
I believe these are supposed to have like a wire loom organizer that runs down the middle, and that was long gone. But from what I can tell, the engine appears to be the original to the car. I don't pretend to be an expert on one of these, but I'm kind of learning as I go. And the plugs all look pretty decent. I don't think it was super rich. They're a little wet right now because we had oil around the threads for a little while. Yeah, a little rich in some areas, decent in others. What I understand is the 1967 Jag was the last year they had all 3 carbs. After that, they went to a 2-carb setup, trying to be more environmentally friendly. All right, let's bore scope this thing.
Alright. Bore scopes here.
I'm gonna go in the back cylinder first. Dave's manning the camera over there.
There's the top piston. Pull the camera back a little. There you go.
You know, if you were over on this side, I could actually see what we were doing.
Yeah, probably could. So we're gonna rotate this.
All right.
Now you can see what's going on.
Yeah, some schmutz on there. Trying to go around. Let's see some surface rust on the cylinder wall. It's dry, really dry. There's a bit out of reach. All right, not too bad. I mean, the top of the piston is remarkably clean. It's weird. Interesting. I actually pulled my uncle's car out of the garage after 30 years and did the same trick where he filled the combustion chambers full of Marble Mystery Oil and let it sit for a good couple of weeks before trying to fire it up, and turning it over by hand, and priming it, and flushing it out real well. And that car's still running. It's been out of the garage for about 15 years now, still on that same engine setup. So fingers crossed, I hope this plan works for this engine too. Okay, this cylinder is, so it'd be 5, I guess. Looks about the same. A little dirtier than the piston. 4 down at the bottom of the barrel. Some surface rust.
Let me get that.
Down at the bottom of the barrel on that one.
I can't really get a good view of that.
There's some surface rust near the top. It's been sitting, like I said, 47 years without moving. And supposedly ran when parked. Alright, go to number 3. Also bottom of the barrel. Surface rust. Oof. Looks like you can see some crosshatch, but it's a lot of surface rust.
Try to get a good angle and then I can't.
Any screen to screen transfer is not going to be good.
Yeah.
Get the gist. All right, number 2. Here's about the same. A little surface rust and grime. I'm just hoping it's not frozen. Number 1, last one. There's no dead small woodland creatures, so that's good.
No major caking built up on them either.
No broken Chevy parts in there either.
Ooh, that's a low blow.
It's a Jag. It's going to have plenty of its own broken parts.
Yeah. Well, that funnel fits fairly close. It doesn't fit right on, but that'll be good enough.
Good enough, because it's not your car.
Exactly.
Not your garage. You're about to spill a bunch of shit, eh?
I'm gonna shut my GoPro off.
Shut up, Dave. All right. Back to the walk around. So these are the plugs we pulled out. They still have oil in the threads because we initially put some oil around to soak into the threads before we took the plugs out. So we didn't have any thread stripping issues going on, but it looks like it was running a little on the rich side in most cases. Okay, in others. But there they are. The only real rust I could see in the car so far was just the typical around the battery tray. There's a little bit of acid gets on things, and that's about it. The battery was still in it. We chucked that. I have the hole down. I don't think that's the original expansion tank for the cooling system. I have one in the trunk, but I think a baffle broke loose on it. And when we found the car, the bonnet was taken off and stood up in the corner. So we had to reassemble it, and he had lost the original hardware. So things like these spring screws and the pivot hardware are down here. It's dark. Those are new. Other than that, the rest of it seems to be as it was when it was parked in '77. It's got the Series 1.2. Which means I think it's got the, or excuse me, 1.5. So it's got the ashtray, complete with cigarette butt still. Luckily it doesn't smell like cigarettes, it smells like old car, which probably means mold, but you know. Transmission shifts, but the hydraulics are smoked. Just trippy old stuff left in the car. This trim ring parts for the shift boot. Extra bulbs, and a Jaguar patch. And we'll go through the back here. Actually, there's a tray back here for additional storage. That is tight, but it does open. There we go. Extra wiper blades. I think that's about it in there. And you can actually lock that open if you want to keep packages from sliding around. That's kind of cool. And if you have a big load back here, you can slide these up to keep them from sliding forward from the looks of it. Kind of a neat little Grand Touring style car. Got some old school local bumper stickers. And there we go. I don't think it's original exhaust. Back in the day, those things used to rot off pretty fast. But I'm not the expert. Broken taillight, we just got a new one in the box.
Yeah, well, now you're not the expert.
Shut up. And the trunk pulls here. All right. So there's that expansion tank. You can hear something's loose inside. So it's kind of cool they kept the original stuff, but I'm not sure how usable it is. Some extra coil in there. I think there's some fan belt or something. Alternator shield. distributor cap. I don't even know what that is yet. Looks like it's still sealed. Brake parts. Original black plate license plate from California. Some rubber. Old school Hemmings. I think I need this. I'll go in the pile of maybe. But when you take the trunk out, the trunk floor, we got our spare tire, we got our original toolkits, jack, super cool Thor's hammer. That's pretty sweet. From what I understand, it's if the original toolkits get lost, kind of hard to replace. And the fuel tank is here. I haven't been any further than this yet as far as taking things apart. But all in all, pretty neat.
Just documented the oil levels.
Cool. Cool. So that's that for now, I think. We'll walk over the front. It's the original nomenclature plate. Looks like it had a little bit of a hard life. Got some dings and dents in the front, and paint's thin or missing in some spots, but for the most part, it's, like I said, all complete and pretty interesting. We were talking, we figured it'd probably be a good idea to document that the engine
Has oil.
does have oil in it. That's just exactly what was in it as it was sitting. Nobody's messed with that other than checking the level. So when we come back in a week or two, we'll see if we've gained any more from leak down. Other than that, yep, that's Dave. I'm me. See you next time.